everyone, welcome back to another video. My name is Matt with RAR TCG. Today's video, I'm really excited about it. We're gonna be talking about how to sort your bulk. This is gonna contain a lot of information, a lot of value for you if you're considering starting your own Pokemon business and you're considering starting with bulk, which is honestly what I recommend for people because bulk is so easy to get into. So this is all after you buy your first bulk. This is gonna cover the steps of how to get your bulk lot and then sort it to a point where it's ready to be listed, and so you can start making sales and generating revenue that you can reinvest in other areas of your business. It's always important to mention that bulk isn't going to make you rich overnight, but it will create this opportunity for you to generate like consistent, regular orders and sales, and it will just consistently generate revenue for you so that you can continue to make money and then eventually move into buying and selling collections, sealed products. You can expand your business from there naturally. I always recommend that people grow with what you know. So whether you really enjoy sealed cards, singles, or bulk, just grow with what you know. But for anybody interested in learning more about bulk, this is a great channel to do that. I cover some hot topics that are happening in the Pokemon environment and hobby, but I also cover a lot of business conversations as well. So I would really love it if you consider liking and commenting down below. That will help promote the video in the algorithm. Very helpful for me. A little selfish ask there, but if you enjoy the content, let me know down below. I would love to have a conversation with you. Let me know if you have any questions about selling bulk. And then if you think this really provided some value for you today, I would really love for you to consider to subscribe as well. So let's go ahead and dive into the video. This is all about after you've bought your first bulk lot. I'll give a little synopsis. It's not going to be a video about buying. We can do that later. You can find some videos on my channel that I've already created for that. But basically, you want to buy bulk anywhere between $5 to $10 per 1,000 cards. Once you secure your first bulk lot, it may look something like this. I'm gonna pop up a screen on video. This is one of the first bulk lots I ever purchased, y'all. I purchased 15,000 cards for $80. And if you've ever seen any of my short content, a lot of the times I mention this first bulk lot I bought just because it was such a good learning experience for me. But as you can see, the cards are chaotic. It's chaos. There was containers with just tons of cards thrown in them, cards from different eras and different sets, some more vintage cards mixed in with Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet. And so the first thing I had to learn and grow familiar with in the bulk process was literally just how do you sort your cards so that they're ready and able to be listed. Because if you don't have a process, a system in place for your bulk, it's gonna get overwhelming. So this is the process and system I use. I'm gonna, give it to you I'm gonna summarize it, give it to you straight up. And if that's all you need, feel free to hit that like button, leave a comment, and then dip out of the video. If you wanna hear some more context, look at some specific cards, how to analyze and know what set and era cards are from, we're gonna get into more detail as well. But to give you the TLDR version that you can just kind of latch onto and run with if you're ready, this is what you need to do. When you buy a bulk lot that looks chaotic, don't worry. I know it's easy to get frustrated maybe, oh, why didn't that person sort the cards before they sold them to me? To be honest, when a bulk lot looks like that, you are ready to go. That is a bulk seller's dream right there. And why is that? Because that bulk is coming directly from a collector. You don't have to worry about that bulk being pre-sifted, anybody kind of going through that bulk in advance, pulling out all the valuable cards. You get to do all of that work. And you're securing the cards at such a low price, between $5 and $10 per 1,000 cards, for that reason, because you're gonna put in the sweat equity. I don't know what I was gonna say, sweat equity to get that value out of those cards. Bulk isn't gonna make you rich. It's a lot of hard work, but it's possible. It's possible to make money selling bulk. And I love it. I love the process. So if you want to know the short version, buy your bulk lot. And then what you're going to do is you're going to, first of all, sort by generation. Basically, you're going to put the yellow cards in one pile, the silver cards in the other. Once you do that, you can start sorting by set. And the set icon can be found on the bottom left-hand side of the card, typically. And then from there, once you sort by set, Sometimes there's a set icon, sometimes there's a couple kind of like letters or numbers to indicate a set. You'll have to Google those things, get familiarized with it. Like remember, you're starting a business, so there's gonna be some work you have to do here. Once you get those separated into all of the different sets, then you can start sorting them alphabetically. And guess what? Once you have the sets alphabetized, once you have it separated by set and alphabetized, you're ready to start listing that on TCG Player. The reason why you want to have them alphabetized is because, first of all, when you go to list cards, everything's already alphabetized for you, and it's going to be the lowest friction. It's going to be the easiest way for you to get things listed and start selling right away. The second reason is when you go to pull orders, when you print off your order sheets, everything's going to be alphabetized by set, and it's going to be alphabetized by set and by condition. So just keep that in mind. If you have like a bulk lot that has a couple different conditions in it, you may notice that your order sheets are grouping by condition and then by set and alphabetically. So just know that that's like what's up. That is basically all you need to know to get started. But as we continue on the video for the next couple of minutes, this video is probably going to be between 10-15 minutes. That's my goal at least. We're going to look at some other more detailed notes here because I think there's a lot of nuances that you can learn about, especially if you're newer to Pokemon or you mostly just collect higher end singles and you don't have a lot of bulk sitting around. And that's the other thing about bulk. Honestly, if you're watching this, you want to experience starting your own business and selling cards, look in your closet. How many ETBs full of bulk do you have? I bet if you have some more modern bulk, Sword and Shield, Scarlet and Violet, I bet you got some playable cards in there that are worth more than you think they are. Just so you know, when I say a higher value bulk card, I'm talking about anything that's worth over 25 or above cents. That's money. That is great value right there. And not the Walmart kind. That's like actually good value. And so we're not talking about $15, although we're gonna look at an example today of a bulk card that you're not likely to find, but if you come across some of more vintage stuff, you'd be surprised at what some of these commons and just like non-holo cards can go for. So I'm going to show up a screen on, we're going to look at a video. I'm going to show up a screen. I'm going to show a video on screen of a couple cards, 3 cards in particular. We're going to look at a Scarlet and Violet card, a Sword and Shield card, and then a vintage Gym Heroes card. Okay, these are 3 very distinct but important things to know. We're going to talk about how to find the set icon, the rarity of the card, and whether or not it's first edition, which primarily only, like the first edition conversation is only going to relate to the last card, which is going to be our vintage era cards, because we no longer have first edition cards. We have stamped promo cards, we have stamped cards, we have promo Cosmo, like different kind of versions of the card with Cosmo Holo foiling and different foils, but we no longer have that stamped first edition card, which I think is like, that's fine. But just know that those older, Wizard of the Coast first edition cards do exist and they are hovering around out there in people's collections. So let's look at this. Here's the video. So on the left side, we can see we have a foil rare from Mega Evolutions, one of the newer sets out right now as I'm recording this video. This is Meganium. We're going to look down at the bottom left-hand side of the card. You're going to notice that newer cards always contain all the information you need to know down on the bottom left-hand side. Starting from the left, you can see that's the set icon. ME01 is going to be Mega Evolutions, the Mega Block, the first set from the Mega Block. And then you're going to see a number there. That's the set number. That's not super, it's not something you need to really concern yourself with whenever you're listing bulk cards. But just understand that that's the number, that's the card number of it in the set. And then on the right side, you're going to see a little shape that's going to be a star for Meganium. And that's going to be indicating that it's a rare foil card from the set. Whenever you get into more rare cards like IRs or SIRs, you're going to see that star. There's maybe going to be multiple stars, different colored stars and things like that. But that's really outside the realm of bulk, so we're not going to talk about that very much today. And then that's all you need to know. So you just want to line up all of the cards in your bulk lot that have that same set icon. And then from there, it doesn't even matter about the rarity. You're just going to alphabetize them and get ready to list them on TCG Player. The middle card right here is going to be a reverse holo Bidoof from Crown Zenith. Again, all the information you need to know is down on the bottom left-hand side. You're going to see a set icon. Not Sword and Shield, but Scarlet and Violet, it's going to have like actual numbers and letters that associate with the set. Whereas Sword and Shield has more of a set icon approach, which had been the typical approach for Pokemon for a very long time. But just know you're going to have to familiarize yourself with the different set icons. It's going to take you a little bit of Googling, getting familiar with it, and just like maybe book tab a good resource that you can go back to and reference. And you'll start to learn and memorize those over time. But again, you got the set icon, you've got the set number, and then you got the rarity there. None of the steps change between Scarlet and Violet and Sword and Shield. The main difference here is that there's yellow border cards for Sword and Shield and silver border cards for Scarlet and Violet. And that's why my first step in sorting any new bulk lot is just to separate out the yellow borders from the silver borders. Now let's go ahead and go forward to our vintage example here. This is a Misty's Psyduck from Gym Heroes. This card is a first edition card, and I want to highlight a couple different areas of the card that we need to look out for. In the bottom right hand side is going to be the rarity, and then in the middle right side is going to be the set icon, which is going to be the Gym Heroes set icon. And then there's this very special, almost like a stamp, little icon in the middle left side of the card, which is going to be our first edition stamp. Now, if you ever come across cards in bulk lots that have the set icon in the middle, and you notice that like, hey, this doesn't quite look like a Sword and Shield card, I would set that aside to a different pile, because chances are you're seeing something that's a lot older than maybe what you expected in that lot. This is very unlikely, okay? You're not gonna find a first edition Misty Psyduck in a lot of the bulk lots you're buying, okay? Can it happen? Of course. Of course it can happen, but it's not likely unless you're buying a vintage bulk lot. And if you're buying vintage like that, chances are you're still going to, you're gonna be buying it for more of a premium because of how much older the cards are. You need to do all that work on the front end. But again, this is really exciting. Sometimes you get super lucky. I remember the lot I showed earlier that was so chaotic. There was, I believe, something called a float stone or a gravity stone in there. It was from it was from Sun and Moon, a more vintage, era card. And that card was worth like $6 to $7. Like in moderately played, it's used in a specific format of the card game that people still play. It's a highly sought after trainer card. And I was so surprised that this card that I found in this random, 15,000 cards was worth $6. It blew my mind, y'all. Actually, absolutely blew my mind. And so you can find buried treasure with your bulk. And that's always the fun part about sorting and getting things ready, is you never know what you're gonna come across. I also found some trainer gallery cards before, like a Ditto. It was bent in half. I have it in my PC because I was like, no way, I found a trainer gallery. It's like finding an IR in a bulk lot. It's so exciting. But yeah, I hope this video was really helpful, guys. We're gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up here. But yeah, just know this: at the end of the day, when you're sorting your bulk, sort first by era. So put the silver cards in one pile, the gold bordered, yellow bordered cards in the other, and then you want to sort by set and then alphabetically. One extra step you can do along the way to maybe help you identify higher value cards is to pull out the trainer cards. Have a stack of just Pokemon cards, and then have a separate stack of your trainer cards. The reason for this is a lot of the newer sets, sometimes the highest value cards can be in those trainer cards because, people play the competitive card game. They need full play sets of those trainers. And if you happen to find something like an Arven or a Night Stretcher in there, those things can be worth a lot of money. So don't discount pulling out your trainers to have more of a focus as you're going through your cards. Thank you so much for watching. Quick shout outs at the end of the video here. If you made it 14 minutes in, leave a rocket emoji down below. The reason why we're leaving the rocket emoji is because just recently, the real Team Rocket Joey gave me a shout out on his Instagram story. I just released a video recently about talking about different content creators and whether or not investors are destroying the hobby. It's a fun little video. I did call out Team Rocket Joey, not in a negative way, just kind of shouting him out, talking about, just different, I talked about a lot of different creators. But anyways, I was super excited to see that. That's awesome. Another quick shout out is to my boy Maharaga. I found this pop at GameStop. JJK is my favorite anime, and I was super excited to see this. This is a big boy. This is a big pop. I don't even like pops that much, but JJK ones I pick up all the time. I also have a Piplup as well. And then as I was buying my pops, the GameStop employee was like, bro, there's a what is this called? It's a Chase Pop, man. Do you want to buy it? And I was like, I don't know, bro. What's a Chase Pop? And evidently they're like limited edition, they're printed less. But I saw that it was Zorro, and I'm working through One Piece right now. Zorro's my favorite character in the show, and I was like, yeah, I'll buy it. You know how it is. You know how it is. Sometimes you just like, oh, I'll buy that. It's fine. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in and watching. We hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank y'all for the love, and I'll see y'all for the next one. Peace.